As many as 7,300 homes in Sioux City have lead-based water lines feeding them right now. The EPA says lead exposure can cause a whole host of health problems, from headaches and hearing problems in kids to hypertension and brain damage in adults. The EPA's new lead and copper rule said lead water lines or galvanized water lines need to be replaced by 2037. Tonight, Sioux City homeowners were invited to the Tyson Event Center to learn more about the steps required to replace those service lines which run into a home from an outside water main. During tonight's presentation, homeowners learned the city has until 2027 to have lead pipe replacement plans in place. The plan is still in the early stages and questions remain.
We're in the beginning stages right now of just gathering information about everybody's service line, the inventory, and just getting that gathered. And then we'll move into the next step of trying to figure out a plan to implement it and funding and who is responsible for it.
The EPA's new lead and copper rule only requires the replacement of the line from the water main to the meter. It doesn't require the piping inside those homes to be replaced.